And we are awaiting the new advisory from the National Hurricane Center on this incredibly dangerous storm. Now a Category 4 hurricane as of the 3 o'clock central advisory, new advisory, and a full forecast package coming out at any moment. 140 mile per hour wind, Category 4 hurricane by the looks of it, from the satellite look alone here and the satellite estimates, it looks like we may indeed have a storm that is even getting a little bit stronger than that. There's not a plane out there now, but there will be later, and you can see from looking at this visible imagery that it is an incredibly well-formed storm, an incredibly dangerous storm, and this is the forecast for the winds here. The winds coming onshore, the tropical storm force winds coming onshore in very short order. So over the next few hours, it's going to get a whole lot windier along the coast in Louisiana. Then we're going to watch those hurricane force winds moving onshore later tonight, and they'll continue to move up into the Sabine River, Jefferson County there, and then also Vermilion Parish and Calcasieu Parish, and then into Lake Charles. Lake Charles is going to be most likely devastated by the storm. We're talking about winds gusting well over 100 miles per hour and an incredible storm surge reaching well inland. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And we may be looking at a hurricane all the way up to Shreveport, Louisiana. That is the storm surge forecast. This is an incredibly surge vulnerable part of the coastline in southwest Louisiana. So we're talking about 15, maybe 20 feet of surge on the high end, and not just at the coast. I mean, it's going to be devastating in places like Cameron, Louisiana, but in Lake Charles, which is 30 miles away from the coast, I mean, look at this. This is the reasonable worst case scenario there, and you're talking about widespread areas of 3 to 6 or 6 to 9 feet of storm surge. It's going to be an awful night there in Lake Charles, most likely. Hurricane warnings extending well to the north up through the Piney Woods, up the Sabine River. Here is a model forecast showing you those strong winds picking up to 90 plus miles per hour in Lake Charles by midnight, 125 plus miles per hour. That's easily enough to cause some very serious structural damage, widespread power outages, still going at 100 plus miles per hour, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you see the winds picking up in Alexandria, and then going into tomorrow morning, much stronger wind there. Look at that, Shreveport gusting 90 plus miles per hour at 11 o'clock in the morning. So because this thing is so strong, because it's going to be moving rapidly, it's not going to spin down quickly, it's going to bring all that wind energy well inland. And we're also looking at a very serious rainfall threat here. And we're talking about as much as 5 to 8 inches over a huge area of western parts of Louisiana. We do have the new advisory from the National Hurricane Center, now a 145 mile per hour storm. And so this is just 10 miles per hour away from being a Category 5. It's inching closer towards Category 5 territory there. A solid, strong Category 4 storm now moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. And I want to take a look also at what we're going to see in terms of some impacts farther down the road. We expect to see that excessive rain fall threat extending well up into Arkansas. That's going to be going for quite some time with the core of that storm. And then also wind threat coming into places like Little Rock, Arkansas into tomorrow evening, and then even into Memphis, Tennessee by the time we go into the middle of the day on Friday. So again, it's going to take some time for this storm to wind down because it is such a strong storm. Now, here we see the forecast, and look at this. This is the brand new forecast package from the National Hurricane Center, and look at that right there. They are forecasting a 150 mile per hour storm coming into the coastline, and so that is just 6 miles per hour shy of being a Category 5 hurricane. We have never seen a storm that strong coming into southwestern parts of Louisiana. We've never seen a Cat 4, let alone a very strong Cat 4 and very nearly a Cat 5. And again, you're talking about an absolutely enormous threat from storm surge flooding. So please, folks, if local officials ask you to evacuate, you've got to take them seriously. Don't use your past experience as a frame of reference in this case, because it may not be relevant. This could be far worse than anything that we have seen in this part of the coastline.